everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. We've got two very good defenses on the field today. Both rank in the top 10 in fewest yards allowed, and each wants to prove that it is no fluke. The Saints are top 10 in defensive yards allowed, and they go up against the Seahawks, who will need to find a way to move the football. Set for the call of this Week 8 matchup. Let's bring in our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Seattle Seahawks and the New Orleans Saints. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Ready. 5.
On second down, Ingram. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short. The headshots here are the offensive unit. And what about Brandon Cooks?
If he's not a 1,000-yard receiver every year he's healthy in the league, I'll be surprised. Came out of college wanting to be a pro, studied all the best receivers in the NFL before he even got to the league.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before this game. And I think they have to be happy with the result.
Left side and caught by Flainer. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Ready. 11. Here we go.
Now Breeze throwing on second down. Backing up. Escaping the pressure right. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. And a look at Seattle's defense.
Earl Thomas is the rangiest free safety in the game. Great reactions, great understanding, and boy, will he strike you when the ball's in his area.
And again, it's Ingram. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. First and goal from the 1 as they look to punch it in. They run. It's Mark Ingram. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
11. Here we go. Wait. Like 50, 12.
They'll look to run with Ingram. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Mark Ingram, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And this will be a touchback. Last year would have come out to the 20. This year they'll move it out to the 25-yard line. First carry for Thomas Rawls. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Wilson now off the bootleg. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The starters for the Seahawks of Seattle on the offensive side. Charles, they could use a big game from Thomas Rawls.
And they really loved what they got out of him last year because an undrafted player is not supposed to give you nearly 6 yards a carry in production. And that's exactly what he did. They need a big game out of him, and they expect it.
And the back goes into motion. Third and long. It's Wilson. And he's got Moncrief. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Wilson will throw again. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Donnell Allerby in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. To throw is Wilson. Completes it to Marcel Reese. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion. Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Going to be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off on a great one. Darrelle Revis. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
The play fake to Ingram. Now it's Breeze. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Breeze. Flushed out right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Throwing now is Breeze. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He was looking for Mark Ingram there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. The line of scrimmage is the 2 here on 3rd and goal. They'll try and run. Ingram. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Mark Ingram with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And it's good to make it 14-0. And the Saints add on to their lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing.
And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. They come up in an offset eye. Now it's Wilson. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. All week in practice, they stress grounding, pounding the football, and they really executed it well there to get the 1st down.
That usually means getting back to being physical in practice, because when you emphasize pounding the football, it doesn't really come together unless you practice it the same way you're going to play it in the game. That means more bodies, more pads, and a whole lot of popping last week, and they got it done in the game.
17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. And they're going to speed things up here. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed, I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Second and 10 now, Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it.
Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. A great and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
And he puts it through. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, little 360. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. On first down, Wilson. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. Second down following the incompletion. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And he's got his tight end. This is Luke Wilson. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And that catch there by Luke Wilson goes for a first down, and he's really developed and come on. Now, remember, Jimmy Graham, who was expected to be the key tight end for Russell Wilson, he was hurt most of 2015. Luke Wilson really jumped his game up.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the second-rounder, Von Bell. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Second down following the run. Now Breeze throwing on second down. Caught right side, it's Snead. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there at 22. Shift together here from the D-line. On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. Looking for his tight end Fleeter, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see, do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Now Wilson on first down. That is caught at the 7. And he will score. score. Touchdown, Seattle. Paul Richardson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right? Minimizing
those and maximizing opportunities.
So it'll be first down here after the run. Ingram again, a first down carry. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Breeze to throw on 2nd down. And he's got it over the middle. Fleener, 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
And there's a nice completion to Kobe Fleener, and no one can be happier than Drew Brees.
They had Jimmy Graham for all those years, Ben Watson last year, and now coming south from Indianapolis, Fleener. And now Ingram, he's been busy today. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. On 2nd down, here's Brees. It's complete to Snead. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. Back now here live in New Orleans. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the 4th quarter.
Sammy! Ready, go down.
Again, they'll throw with Brees. Step fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Here's Wilson. Wilson snags it left side. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Catch made right side by Wilson. 15 yards through the air and a first down. And quickly they get to the line.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Second and 10. It's Wilson again. Over the middle here to Wilson. And he's brought down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now it's Wilson. Completes it to Moncrief, left side. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Third and 2, now Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Kenny Vaccaro. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time. Fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, for the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
On second down, here's Breeze. And Cooks has it over the middle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And he's got Snead. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. And the offense can string something together, but they'll need to do it quickly here to try to get points on the board and win this game. On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Tie game here. Time starting to run down. The defense really needs to try and keep this game tied, see if they can get the ball back for the offense. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. Now, Breeze again. He's got time in the pocket. And that's complete to Cooks. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. And now the offense operates in the red zone. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. They'll come out in the pistol. Now Breeze on 3rd down. Looking for someone to throw to. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead it just brings up 4th down. And his kick is indeed good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Now then, it's a big kick right there to give him the lead in the 4th. But, Charles, there is still time left for a final drive.
Brandon, you know they would have liked to take the clock down just a little bit further, at least under a minute or so, but this was not over yet, especially since they just need a field goal.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in a good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
Yeah, turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. Back to throw. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Quick pass play there on the slant, Charles. Works out well for the offense.
The offense loves it. The defender hates it. Hard to get through the body of the receiver to get to the football trying to cover a slant.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now they're in the hurry-up. Charles on the slant. You always need good ball placement. They got it there.
Brandon, the quarterback, put it in the exact perfect spot, right to the upfield shoulder of the receiver, and he used his body to keep the defender away.
It's a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He'll look to throw. Throw complete there. Rodgers. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They'll look to throw. And Graham's got it over the middle. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice...
And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds. And my friend, drama as they get the lead here in dramatic fashion in the final moments of this one.
The only way they can win, find a way into the end zone as the time was dwindling. Defense knew it, still couldn't prevent it.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. That's fielded in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up.